Hi everybody, I just finished pet sitting in a little fishing village in Mexico that I want to tell you about and share my experience down there. This came up all of a sudden when I had some free time and I grabbed it. Well, you fly into Puerto Vallarta and this little town is about 45 minutes northwest of Puerto Vallarta. You drive through the jungle to get there, which is really interesting. The town is very small. It's called Lo de Marcos. And if you're looking for excitement, this is not the place to go. But I ended up taking care of two little dogs. The beaches there were absolutely pristine. I never saw anything, any garbage, any papers, anything on the beach. And as a matter of fact, there probably were maximum 10 people on each beach at a time. It's very, very, very isolated. And one of the things is they have a turtle hatchery, a little turtle nursery, I guess you'd call it, right on the beach in a building. And I attended a turtle release, which was so fun. And I'm going to have a video out on that as well. I took a video when I was down there. Now, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of this little village. The people were absolutely wonderful. They're so friendly and nice. And the food was absolutely phenomenal as far as going to a restaurant or buying fish and cooking your fish. Now, the problem came in with vegetables. It's so hot and humid there most of the year that when you get to the market around 11 o'clock, forget it. If you can find the vegetables, they're usually wilted. I never even saw lettuce. I think if people want those kinds of things, they drive up to Puerto Vallarta and go to Costco or one of the local grocery stores and bring it home with them. But most of the people in Lo de Marcos seem to eat a combination of cabbage and carrot, which is like a little coleslaw. And they always put that in when you buy your chicken or whatever you buy from a neighborhood market. The beaches are so gorgeous. As I said, there are 3 of them, and you get to one by going down the main street. When I say main street, I'm talking 2-lane, tiny. Most people drive golf carts, and sometimes I was behind like 5 golf carts going down to the beach. But it's very, very tiny. There's not a lot to do. But as I said, the people are very friendly. It was so hot when I was there that even the Mexicans didn't really like to go out in the afternoon. So you would go to the beach and see the Mexicans fishing in the morning or later in the afternoon. But as far as hanging out on the beach in the afternoon, you really gotta like the heat and the sun. So it's very laid back. As I said, in order to get to Puerto Vallarta, of course, you need a car or at least hire a driver because it's like a 45-minute drive. Now, the interesting thing, and I did a little video on this as well, what's so wonderful about some of these Mexican towns is the people who are in charge of the city, the little tiny city, they plant fruit trees along all the sidewalks for the locals or for anybody who wants. You can walk along and pick a lemon, you can walk along and pick a papaya, whatever you want. They put them there for everyone. And I wish more places in America would do that along the streets so that, you know, people could just go out and have a free lunch or free dessert or whatever. I just thought it was a wonderful idea. Now, as I said, it's hot and humid, which I certainly could not live there. Luckily, where I stayed, the people had a massive bank of solar, and I was able to run the air conditioning nonstop. As in most places in Mexico, for me, I don't care for the chocolate. I'm a dark chocolate fan, and I love the chocolate in the States. But I do advise you to try it and see if you like it when you're in Mexico. It's just not my cup of tea. Also, the meat. Now, I'm not a meat eater, but I was invited to someone's home, and the owner of the home where I was pet sitting told me that the meat was not good there, and it was not what we were used to in the States. And she was right. I ate it, but it certainly wasn't enjoyable. But again, give it a try and see if you like it. This is a little place that's an enclave for Canadians in the winter. And Americans I think, are just starting to discover it. But I think the Canadians would do anything to get out of 30 below degree weather in Canada. So anyway, I wanted to let you know about the sit. It went very well. The dogs were phenomenal. Now, there are a lot of stray dogs in Mexico, and there are a lot of groups of Canadians and Americans, and some Mexicans too, that are trying to help with the stray homeless pets. The thing that you have to know, you have to be there a while or ask people, because Mexicans do not put their dogs behind a fence for the most part. They're not necessarily all strays. These dogs can be pets and belong to someone. So you really have to know what you're doing if you want to help with rescuing dogs. Now, the other thing is that most people do not walk their dogs on a leash in Mexico. I'm talking about Americans, Canadians, Europeans. And the reason being that once in a while you will run into some aggressive stray dogs. Unfortunately, when I was driving the golf cart, or I should say fortunately I was driving the golf cart, I had two of them come after me and the dogs in the back, and they meant business. I guess one of them has killed a dog before, and he's very aggressive. Somehow he got out of his fenced yard. So it's not a wise thing to do in a lot of places, particularly rural places, to take your animals. Speaking of which, the little dog just came in here to be petted. So anyway, I hope this gave you some good information, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much.